If you clicked on this video and you're listening to my voice right now, you were meant to listen to me right now. Let me explain. In this video, I'll try to formulate in language why not just you watching this video, but everything in existence is meant to be. This is one of the deepest truths that I have realized throughout my psychedelic and spiritual journey. And it's very hard to put into words, but it's one of the fundamental truths of reality with vast implications for our life and our practice. Hey Virgo, and this is Psychedelic Actualization. I love to help psychedelic enthusiasts integrate their psychedelic experiences and live a life of purpose. If you're curious about that, you are free to join our Path to Purpose community, where we empower each other to walk this path of life together and walk in alignment and clarity with our true self. So everything is meant to be. This statement alone cannot be understood by the mind. I guess this is the first fundamental principle that we'll have to try to grasp, that the mind is never gonna be able to arrive at a point to understand or grasp this concept, this truth of reality. And so it's very difficult based on that to formulate it in language, but I'll try either way. So what do I mean when I say everything is meant to be? For example, a funny story is that I recorded a video. It was a fantastic video where I talked about determination and I talked about an insight from a 5-MeO DMT experiences immediately shot after the experience. It was fantastic. And I accidentally deleted that video from the camera. And now I don't have it anymore. I'm like, this cannot be. This is not possible that this is meant to be. But somehow it is. Because otherwise it wouldn't be the case. And the same goes for very harsh and deep and personal and emotional topics that are present in our reality, that are present within our human family, within our existence, where the mind is really struggling to grasp it is when it gets to these points of judgment where we say, how can it be that people are starving, kids are starving, they're dying because they don't have food? How can you say that this is meant to be? How can you say that the war is meant to be? How can you even say that the state that our earth and our existence is in right now here is meant to be? How dare you, right? So this judgment is coming in, but where is that judgment coming from? Like, what's the source of that judgment? What's the source of that argument, of that perspective? It leads us into relativity. It leads us into duality. It leads us into this sense of I and me, and this sense of I know what's good and what's bad. It leads us into the duality of good and bad. And from that perspective, for sure we can say that this is meant to be and this is not meant to be. But who are we to judge? Honestly, who are we to judge? I found that when I look deeply within and I dissolve that sense of me and I humble myself before the infinite intelligence and wisdom of life and existence itself, I can see that I have no say in this. So in the sense where I surrender myself and I leave that realm of egotism and duality and judgment behind, there is a merging with the field of consciousness that is present. And in that field of consciousness, in that unifying field, it's a place that Rumi said that is beyond right and wrong. There is a peaceful field of consciousness, of knowing. And in this knowing, there is an experiential understanding arising that communicates that everything is meant to be. The reason why everything is meant to be and what that might mean for our life is that if it isn't meant to be, it wouldn't. Again, do you follow me? Is that too hard to understand? Again, try to feel that. If it wouldn't be meant to be, it wouldn't be. This is kind of the gist of why. I found that everything that is, right, is already embraced and accepted and approved by existence itself, by God itself. Because the very fact that it exists proves that. The very fact that hunger exists is already saying that it's meant to be there. Because otherwise it wouldn't be. Existence cannot reject or judge what it is. So there has to be an all-encompassing embrace of everything that is. Everything that has ever happened and everything that will ever happen. And it brings in also this very interesting question of free choice, free will, right? It's a very interesting concept. We could talk hours about it. Well, if everything is meant to be and everything is basically then already decided upon by that unifying, all-knowing field of intelligent consciousness, then who am I to make decisions either way? Then I can just surrender, right? And even my ability to surrender or not being able to surrender is already predetermined. And that's an interesting point, because in some sense, yes, the sages and the mystics of all times are affirming that truth of everything being already predetermined, everything being already written out. But we're here to play, we're here to try, we're here to, right, still play in this free field of awareness and fight against the hunger, stand for what we believe in is good and true. Move towards a better, right, from our humanly perceived judgment, perceived better state of the being in the world. We can still do that. But what for me has come out of that sensation that everything is already meant to be, everything that is meant to be, everything that is already accepted and embraced by reality and God itself. It alleviates the pressure. There's no pressure anymore. There's no need for worry, basically. There's no need to doubt God's intelligence. There's no need to doubt anything. There's no need to worry about anything. And with that knowing, there is a greater enhanced ability to move with life, to move with everything that is, to move with the Tao, with the flow of life, and give myself to that, right? Humbly stand before that and admit that I don't know. I don't know why some things are happening or not happening. But deep within my heart, I can sense and appreciate the truth that everything is meant to be. All that is and all that is not. All that is not meant to be, and everything that is meant to be. And from that I can trust in that truth. I can trust in that knowing. And I can appreciate then the truth of this moment, the truth of reality, the truth of life itself and of existence and of being. So that was my little rant about how you were meant to watch this video. If you're still here with me, that is meant to be. So I'm curious, what does that invoke within you? What kind of resistances are coming up? What kind of questions are coming up? What kind of feelings are coming up? What kind of thoughts are coming up when you hear and contemplate that statement? Everything is meant to be. And I invite you in, first of all, into our Path to Purpose Psychedelic Actualization community, where we can come together and inquire together and contemplate together and share perspectives together around these deep insights that sometimes arise out of psychedelic space or out of our spiritual practice, so we can gain perspective in this open, non-judgmental, communicative field. You're deeply invited into that. But otherwise, I also just invite you to take that statement with you into a meditation, into a contemplation, and ask yourself, how true is that really, that everything is meant to be? And then sit with that question, feel into that question, feel into that statement, and really see what's coming up and what resonates regarding this statement, that everything is meant to be. And what are the consequences of that? The ultimate consequence is freedom. It's freedom from everything. Because we can say, none of this is in my hands. I surrender fully to what is meant to be. Without being lazy, but by still being actively participating in this sense of surrender. That's the paradox. Blessings.